Hey everybody, this is Anaris of Anaris StarCraft, bringing you the second game in a best of 5 series with BorgBear, who is a StarCraftArena.net forums regular member, and Tempest, who is BorgBear's friend. Last game was a Protoss versus Protoss matchup, with BorgBear taking the win for the first round. So we'll have to see what Tempest does here to try to kind of get back in the game a little bit. Tempest is going to go ahead and send out a probe really early. We might be looking at some sort of proxy base or some other form of cheese, maybe even a cannon push. We will have to see. And there is one of the new cute critters. I love those little guys. They are just so awesome. Anyways, BorgBear is going to go ahead and put down his pylon at 9 supply. And it looks like Tempest is going to go ahead and maybe put some sort of proxy. I don't know, this probe's kind of sitting there. Okay, there we go. So, the one thing that I noted when I watched this game is that this pylon actually probably should have been built a little bit farther away, maybe like right here, or just kind of right here. Either way, because when Borg is going to come out of this ramp, there's a really good chance he's going to see something down here, especially with this gateway. So we'll have to see whether he is able to scout that or not. Borg continuing, it looks like he's going to go ahead and start chrono boosting out some probes. I did talk to him a little while ago. He said he's a huge fan of chrono boost. That's one of his favorite new abilities in StarCraft 2. So definitely good to see him taking advantage of that. He is going to go ahead and put the gateway at his ramp, and it looks like Borg has discovered the proxy base with 2 gateways. And yep, he is calling it out right now. And it looks like he's even calling to his mother, so this is going to get pretty serious here. And yes, Reaper, you are indeed correct. He has scouted the proxy. Fine observation by our second-hand commentator here. Tempest is going to go ahead and probably start building in his base a little bit. One thing you need to watch out for if you are going to do a strat like this, which is kind of cheese, but whatever. It's all fair. Anyways, you want to make sure you don't leave your base completely unguarded, completely vulnerable to attack. Because if you look down here, the distance between the gateways and his base, huge distance. So if Borg were to retaliate by sending zealots past this proxy and start hitting Tempest's base, it would be devastating for his economy. But I don't think he's going to do that this game. It looks like Tempest is going to try to chrono boost out some zealots, maybe try to break through this ramp here. Borg was really good in putting this forge down as well as his pylon to completely block off entrance into the base. And he is also setting the rally point for his gateway right to the ramp, so that way the units will spawn up here at the 12 o'clock in relation to the gateway. So it looks like his plan worked very well. Tempest is not going to be able to break through this ramp. Like I said, it was sealed up very securely. Tempest is going to try to send a suicidal probe up here. I guess he just wanted to end his life. I'm not too sure. But Borg does have some cannons here that are going to finish off this cheese attack here. Not going to work out too well for Tempest. He doesn't really have a way to counter that, as he does not have stalkers, nor would they really be useful at this point in the game anyway. With 2 cannons at the high ground, just would not be able to do much with it. So he is going to go ahead and try to chrono boost. However, it was a bit of a miss micro here. Actually, Borg did a really good job of kind of pulling Tempest zealots into the range of the cannons to get some free kills. And Borg is going to go ahead and try to kill this pylon with this other zealot just kind of dancing around. I don't know, maybe he's at lunch or something. Whatever, he is cool, and that is just what he's going to do. So anyways, Tempest is going to go ahead and send his units back to the base. He is continuing to build up a little bit. He does have a forge, and he's dropping a couple cannons. Like I mentioned earlier, whenever you do a cheese strat such as a cannon push or a gateway push down in their base, you never want to leave your own base completely vulnerable to counterattacks. So Tempest is on top of that, doing a good job. You will notice, however, that since this tactic failed, Tempest is going to be at a significant tech disadvantage, as well as production, because he has lost his gateways, and it looks like Borg is going to go ahead and throw down another gateway up here near the ramp. He'll probably research the warp gate technology, since any units he builds from this now will not be able to get out as a result of this pylon. So kind of a double-edged sword having this pylon here, but in the end I think it's a net gain for a benefit for BorgBear. And he is going to go ahead and put down a robotics facility, so we may see more good use of the Colossi. I did notice last game Borg did a really good job of microing his Colossi pretty well, making sure to get that range upgrade, which just makes them so powerful, especially versus Protoss that make light units. That was definitely kind of a mistake that Tempest made last game. He did make a whole lot of zealots, whole lot of light units that were just really ineffective against the Colossi, and Borg definitely took advantage of that to the most that he could. Tempest does have his gas down. It looks like he is going to go ahead and Continue to put down some cannons, kind of in a defensive posture here. He's probably worried that, you know, Borg is going to come at him with an early rush or something, and he just want to make sure that does not happen. As the cannons are probably the most effective way to kind of guarantee you'll have good defense and make sure you can get a good set economy after kind of having a failed cheese attack there. Borg was going to go ahead and try to attack and see if he can press into Tempest base. However, because those cannons were in Tempest base, he was not able to do that. So he is going to go ahead and Borg is going to send in an observer. And you are absolutely right. You are going to run back home. However, that is okay because otherwise those units would have probably died a horrible death. So Borg gonna go ahead and make a expansion here. Good smart move, taking advantage of the fact that he does have the economic superiority at the moment. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the income. Borg is gonna go ahead and sit at 600, 660, which is definitely a lot higher than Tempest. Looks like Tempest, there's that economic disadvantage he's at as a result of the proxy attack. Borg is looking to have 3 gateways, also has his robotics facility, so it's looking more and more like we're going to see a game just like the last one. He does have a sentry down in the field as well, and he is making 2 more robotics facilities, so they're going to go really heavy Protoss mech. We'll have to see how Tempest reacts to that. It looks like he does have his own robotics facility, however, he is not going to be able to match the output of BorgBear, so Tempest is really going to have to kind of expand a little bit, try to kind of take a risk here. That's one of the things that you can do if you're in this situation. Is if you can send a probe to an expansion that Borg might not check, say here or over here in the top left, or if you want to be really ballsy, you could take something like this where, you know, he might not scout there for a while. It actually can work out pretty well. I do that quite a good bit because, you know, a lot of times this natural expansion is